Hey, good evening, everyone. Good to see everybody here. We see a lot of familiar faces throughout the years, so it's a fun event for sure, and always kind of look forward to this every December. But when I got the call to Kruse, he had called me and said, "Hey, you want to introduce this person?" And I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." So this is quite an honor, but I don't know. I'll just kind of read some stuff here. I don't know if it'll be a secret. About 2 sentences in, this individual will probably know. But I've known this person for a long time and a lot of good memories, and so this is a great honor for them. So this individual's been raising Herefords for over 50 years. Their first registered Hereford was purchased from Kelly Land and Cattle Company over 50 years ago. And since she was a purebred Hereford, he called her purebred. And when he got married, which will be 50 years this year, he brought with him 4 Herefords. The first years were mainly building his herd, with getting a new bull every 2 years and basically selling the calves in the fall and keeping a few top replacement heifers. Then his son began showing in 4-H, and that's when the real learning began. Basically, his son chose his heifer not by her looks, or he chose her all by her looks, not by standards how pretty she was. As time went on, he had 3 children. They began to show more and more in 4-H. And this individual learned about the breed, breeding and selecting cattle that meet or exceed our industry standards. Looking for uniformity and consistency, a bolder son was purchased, and this added muscle and thickness to this individual's herd. By this time, his son married, and the father and son were working together to better their herds, looking for bulls that would provide excellent growth and improved milk production. With the start of bulls only, now he progressed on to AI in many of his cows. Then he moved into embryo work. And the first embryos were a real test for him with cattle rented from someone else. But I think everybody in the cattle business, you live and learn. You're always trying to make improvements and progress, right? So the lessons he learned was that the cows had to be in good shape, good milkers, because 4 of the calves produced all grew very differently. And embryos, calves are a fact of life. His farm has came a long way in 50 years. And now, throughout those times, he's been active in 4-H and FFA, starting with his 3 children to groom and show. And I can attest, this guy, he's still at it, man. He's still got it out there, getting it done, teaching young people, the 4-H and stuff all over. So that's really good to see. And his daughter remembers that. She says, "As I remember it, just when we achieved what the judges were looking for, they changed what they were looking for." Yep, that's true too. It seems like it's always changing, right? So there's always a catch-up game, a learning time for us. Each year as we grew and improved our herd, Dad was very determined to have the best breeding stock. In the show ring, I would look for Dad watching for his signals as to how best to show off the animals. Sometimes they're kind of hard to figure out because there seem to be too many at a time. Those have shown, and you have competitive parents, you can kind of relate there, right? But I remember these times fondly. I learned so much. There's so many things about cattle and life from Dad. This breeder has mentored many youth, like I said, already in 4-H. Don't have to be Herefords, just cattle. He likes being around cattle. He's also been a livestock bull coach. Not only known for his patience, he always has patience while teaching his children, from feeding, proper grooming, and total care of these animals. And this includes many counties in Minnesota all over. So if you could all put your hands together and welcome our newest member of the Hall of Fame. It's my pleasure, Steve Kruse of Kruse's Pole Herd.